Amazing love story. Millionaire turned by hidden heart of poor girl sleeping at bus stop. Disco. Jack Thompson stepped out of his dark blue sports car, the engine rumbling softly as he smoothed his tailored suit. Sirens and laughter filled the air, but all Jack could feel was the chill of loneliness lurking beneath his designer smile. The gala was just minutes away, a parade of glitz and glam where his peers would judge him, measure him against the million-dollar expectations. Yet, amidst the crowd, he felt like an outsider trapped in his own golden cage. As he strolled towards the event, a flash of movement caught his eye. Slumped against a cold metal bench, a young woman lay sleeping. Her tousled hair, a cascade of auburn waves, spilled over her face, contrasting starkly with the gritty concrete of the bus stop. She looked vulnerable, her worn-out jeans and faded hoodie telling stories only dreams would reveal. Something stirred within Jack. He hesitated, torn between the world he belonged to and the raw authenticity she embodied. "Hey, wake up," he murmured, gently shaking her shoulder. Her eyes fluttered open, revealing a soft, bewildered gaze marred by exhaustion. "Where am I?" Lily asked, rubbing her eyes. "Bus stop," Jack chuckled lightly, his heart racing at the connection. "But the real question is, how did you end up here?" They slipped into conversation as though they had known each other for years. Jack learned that Lily was an artist, juggling a minimum-wage job by day and pouring her soul into creating vibrant canvases by night. Her passion shot through the air like a firework, lighting up Jack's own dim existence. "You have no idea how hard it is to paint when your hands are worn from work," she confessed, eyes glistening with unshed tears. "But every brushstroke is like a piece of my heart. I can't give up." Vivid images danced in Jack's mind, visions of a life so different from his marble towers and high-stake meetings. She was someone who faced challenge with grace, her struggle revealing a beauty that wealth could never replicate. Just then, amidst the vibrations of the bustling city, Jack felt alive. For the first time, he yearned for a world without the suffocating weight of expectations. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now, let us continue. As their budding romance blossomed, Jack found himself enchanted by Lily's world, her quirky art shows, the warmth of the community that embraced her. But he was also painfully aware of his friend's judgment. "Is this what you want, Jack?" They sneered, eyebrows raised. The whispers stung. The questions clawed at him, shredding the fragile bond they were weaving. While enjoying a cozy evening at an art show, Lily turned to him, her smile infectious. "You could be part of this," she said softly, as if daring him to embrace the fear of losing everything he knew. But back in his lavish apartment, the tension made Jack's chest tighten. The familiar struggle twisted in his gut. When misunderstandings arose fueled by his insecurities, it felt as though the universe conspired to tear them apart just when they were drawing closer. The stakes surged at the upcoming charity gala, where Lily's work would be on display. The gallery pulsed with energy, but Jack stood frozen, heart racing. Should he scheme an escape to the safety of status, or stand fiercely beside the woman who had unmasked his soul? He felt the weight of his privilege, and a battle raged within his heart. With the crowd buzzing around him, he knew this moment could define everything. Eyes watching, breaths held, they awaited his decision. Would he choose the predictable comfort of his world, or would he take a daring step forward for genuine love? As the applause erupted around them, the world seemed to hush except for that one question racing through his mind. Could he truly embrace the love that had awakened something so profound within him? The applause echoed in Jack's ears, a cacophony that only added to the weight pressing on his chest. He glanced over at Lily, her eyes sparkling with hope and excitement. The vibrant colors of her artwork lit up the walls, each painting a testament to her spirit, her struggles, and her dreams. But the walls of the gallery felt like they were closing in on him. "Jack," Lily's voice broke through his fog of doubt. "Are you okay?" He forced a smile, trying to muster the enthusiasm she radiated. "Yeah, Just a bit overwhelmed. Don't think about anything else. Just be here with me, she murmured, taking his hand with her soft touch. He felt the warmth of her fingers intertwining with his, grounding him amidst the swirling chaos of glossy dresses and tailored suits. As the night unfolded, Jack made the rounds, mingling with old friends and potential investors. Each handshake felt like a transaction devoid of warmth, as if he were playing a role in a script written by someone else. With every laugh shared, every compliment exchanged, the emptiness grew deeper within him. The conversations about money and success felt trivial compared to the world that Lily had opened up for him. "Jack, you've arrived." Henry, his business partner, boomed, slapping his back. "Glad to see you here, buddy. You need to stay in the spotlight. That's what keeps our firm thriving." Jack nodded mechanically, but his gaze drifted back to Lily. She stood by her paintings, her spirit radiating off the canvas. The more he watched her, the clearer it became. He didn't want to live for anyone else's expectations anymore. "Hey, I'll be right back," he finally told Henry, slipping from the pretentious crowd. As he moved toward Lily, he could see the way she interacted with people. They admired her work, but more than that, they appreciated her. The honesty that flowed from her every word, her laughter drawing others in like a moth to a flame. In that moment, everything clicked. He wasn't just a millionaire or a businessman. He was a person, and with her, he wanted to be genuine. "Lily," he called out, his voice cutting through the chatter. She turned, her smile brightening as she noticed him hurrying to her side. "Jack, you okay?" she asked, concern etching her brows. He hesitated for a heartbeat. "I'm ready to be a part of this." The admission felt like a weight lifting off his shoulders. He embraced the vulnerability that flew in the face of all he had known. Her expression morphed into pure joy. "You mean it?" "Absolutely," he replied, staring into her deep green eyes. The truth of his words felt like a spark igniting something he thought had long been extinguished. As they stood together, they became an island amidst the waves of the gala. But just as Lily's laughter bubbled up, a voice sliced through the moment like a knife. "Jack, my man, I didn't think I'd find you mingling with art." The cold smirk of Sasha, an old friend, interrupted from behind them. Her arms crossed, an unimpressed tilt of her head spoke louder than words. Jack's heart raced as he felt his insecurities rise, pushing back against the euphoric high he had just embraced. He didn't want to retreat, but doubt's icy fingers gripped him hard. "Don't let her get to you," Lily whispered, sensing his struggle, but Jack felt the tension building inside him, pulled between worlds again. This encounter could either cement his newfound conviction or shatter it completely. Still, he met Sasha's gaze, determined to stand his ground. "You don't know what you're talking about," he declared, every word echoing his resolve. But would it be enough to hold on to the love forming between him and Lily, or would the weight of his world pull him back into the shadows? As the crowd continued to swirl around them, Jack's mind raced. A choice loomed, a fork in the road ahead. Would he fully step into this new life, embracing the colors that Lily painted for him, or slip back into the muted palette of his past? With every heartbeat, he felt the stakes rise, and the question hung suspended in the air. Could he truly cast aside the world he knew for the woman who had awakened his soul? The tension hung heavy in the air, a silent battle between Jack's past and future. He could feel Sasha's eyes drilling into him, her smirk widening as if she reveled in his discomfort. But beside him, Lily's unwavering presence filled him with a flicker of bravery. "I'll prove you wrong," he muttered under his breath. But this time it wasn't just for Sasha. It was for himself, for Lily. "What was that?" Sasha leaned forward, her voice dripping with curiosity. "Maybe you've finally reached for something you can't afford, like real creativity." She glanced over at Lily with a pitying look. "You know it's a tough world out there." Jack inhaled sharply, his heart pounding louder than the music playing in the background. He wanted to push her away, but he sensed Lily's tight grip on his hand grounding him further. He turned to face Sasha fully, letting the steady rhythm of his heartbeat remind him of who he was alongside Lily. "This is real," he said, his voice steady as he looked from Sasha to the bright hues of Lily's paintings that surrounded them. "It might not fit in your world, but it's more than enough in mine." Lily's eyes sparkled with gratitude, a small smile creeping onto her lips as she squeezed his hand tighter. There was strength in her presence, in the way she embraced every fleeting moment with a passion that had always been absent in Jack's life. "Come on, Jack. Don't waste your breath on her," Lily said, her confidence only amplifying the fire in his chest. He felt alive, and the colors of the gallery suddenly seemed brighter, more vivid. "Let us focus on this," Jack suggested, turning back to Lily. "Your art, your dreams. Why not?" Sasha scoffed, her voice dripping with disdain. "Just keep pretending this fairy tale makes sense. Real life will catch up." But Jack wasn't listening anymore. He was lost in the warmth of Lily's spirit, the laughter that flowed between them like a lifeline. The crowd faded away. The skepticism of his past felt lighter, and he no longer carried the burden of it alone. He had chosen to stand firm, ready to embrace the unknown. They resumed their conversation, sharing thoughts on the art around them, their voices overlapping in animated bursts of excitement. Jack felt those precious moments repairing the fractures within him, pushing out the shadows that had long taken root. "Jack, Lily." Henry's booming voice pulled him back to reality as he approached with a couple of prospective buyers in tow. Jack felt a rush of anxiety but turned to face the approaching group, holding Lily's hand with newfound resolve. "Evening, Jack," Henry greeted, oblivious to the storm of emotions that had just passed over him. "What do you think of the turnout?" "It's amazing," Jack replied, his voice echoing with sincerity. "Really incredible work you've done, Lily." "Thanks." She beamed, leaning closer to him. Jack realized something vital in that moment. Nothing could change the feelings he had for her. Sasha, Henry, the rigid expectations from his past, it was all noise compared to Lily's vivid world. Yet, as he immersed himself in the conversation, he felt a shadow creeping back into his heart. Doubt snuck into the corners of his mind, whispering that perhaps Sasha was right, that his comfort zone was slipping away faster than he could catch it. What if he didn't belong in this new world, fueled by passion and color? "Lily," he began, the warmth in his chest faltering. What if I can't keep up with all this?" Her smile faded for a moment, replaced by concern. "Jack, just be yourself. This is your moment." But was it really? As he faced the bright lights of the gallery and the hopeful faces around him, the simple question lingered. Could he truly let go of someone he used to be? The uncertainty hung thick, and as laughter erupted from a nearby group, Jack felt the tremors within, daring him to confront it or retreat again. Could he choose to step fully into the light, or was that brightness too blinding after a lifetime of shadows? As the night continued to pulse, one thing was painfully clear. He had a choice to make. The stakes could never be higher, and the silence that followed weighed heavily in the air. Jack stood at the precipice of his own fears, caught between opportunity and doubt. The laughter surrounding them mixed with the clinking of glasses, a sound that felt both inviting and overwhelming. He watched people admire Lily's artwork, their faces lit with appreciation. It was her moment, and he wanted to be a part of it, truly part of it, instead of just an observer standing on the edge. He glanced at Lily, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm as she explained the inspiration behind each piece. He loved listening to her talk, the way her hands danced through the air, painting vibrant imagery that felt just as colorful as her art. But within him, a cold stare of realism gripped tighter. "Am I enough for this?" he thought, feeling the weight of expectations press down on him. "Jack," Henry called again, snapping him back. "What do you think of this one?" Henry gestured toward a large canvas that displayed an explosion of colors swirling together, reminiscent of the chaos and beauty of life itself. It captivated Jack, but for a moment, all he could see was the painting interwoven with his own struggles. It's incredible," Jack stammered, the honesty ringing true. Yet, his voice trembled slightly, as if his affirmation wasn't as secure as it should have been. Lily looked at him, sensing his hesitation. She stepped closer, resting her head against his shoulder. "You see it, right? All the beauty in the chaos," she whispered, her breath warm against his skin. He nodded, but doubt still lingered. Jack could hear Sasha's taunting words echoing in his mind, the accusations lingering like smoke. What if he never truly belonged here? What if the art world was just another mirage he couldn't grasp? "Can I be as fearless as you?" he finally voiced, his heart still hammering. "Can I have what you have?" Lily pulled back to look at him, her gaze piercing through his uncertainty. Yes, Jack. You can. Just take a leap. And there it was, a leap. Those two words resonated deep within him. He wanted it, the thrill, the risk, the possibility of falling and standing back up again. But that sound of laughter mixed with hints of skepticism still questioned him. Was he ready to leap? As the evening progressed, Jack started to lose himself in the rhythm of the moment. He met several people interested in Lily's work, each gleaming with potential admiration. They chatted, laughed, and for the first time in a long while, Jack felt a sense of belonging. Moments turned into hours, and the adrenaline of connection fueled him. Slowly, he began to see the world through Lily's eyes, the vibrancy, the hope juxtaposed with fear, and the strength found in every moment. Jack, you're amazing, someone complimented him, and he felt a warmth bloom in his chest. Thank you, he replied, surprised at how genuine the affirmation felt. Yet, in the corner of his mind, Sasha's voice lurked. They'll want more than you can give. Suddenly, the music shifted, an upbeat tune that drew laughter from the crowd. People started to dance, letting loose in the sanctuary of art, and Jack felt an intense magnetism. Can I join them? He hesitated. Without thinking, Lily gently pulled him toward the dance floor, a radiant smile lighting her face. Come on, dance with me. As the music filled his ears, a wave of spontaneity washed over him. In that moment, he closed his eyes and surrendered to the rhythm. He danced, not just with his body, but with every fragment of his spirit. And for the first time, he felt free. But just as exhilaration flooded his senses, he caught sight of Sasha lingering at the edge, an inscrutable look on her face. Doubt crept back, coiling tighter as she crossed her arms, observing him. Jack, she called out, her voice slicing through the joy. His heart raced. Could he drown out the noise of his past and embrace this new joy? He turned to Lily and saw her shining with encouragement. But suddenly, he felt pulled in two directions. Each step on the dance floor seemed to echo back the uncertainty that still clung to him. What would he choose? The music pulsed through Jack's veins, yet all he could focus on was Sasha's piercing gaze, tense and unyielding. Every beat of the song felt heavier, as if the bass was taunting him, reminding him of the chasm between his new life and the shadows of doubt that clung to him. He could feel Lily's warmth beside him, urging him to dance, to live, to be free, but Sasha's presence anchored him in a whirlwind of anxiety. Jack, Sasha called again, her tone blending irritation with concern. Jack felt the collective energy of the dance floor flicker as the people around him turned their heads. Curiosity piqued. What is she doing? Lily glanced at him, her expression shifting between worry and confusion. Jack's heart raced, each pulse a reminder of everything he longed to escape. Just ignore her, he murmured, trying to redirect his attention back to the music, but he could already feel Sasha's words crawling into his mind like unwelcome vines. They'll want more than you can give. Lily's hand tightened around his, her grip grounding him. This is your moment, Jack. Don't let her take it away. Taking a deep breath, he pushed aside Sasha's voice, focusing instead on the wildness of the music, the laughter around him, and the electric warmth radiating from Lily. He began to move again, returning to the rhythm, letting the music fill him and transport him. As the evening wore on, Jack let himself sink deeper into the crowd. He followed Lily's lead, twirling her under the flashing lights, their laughter bubbling over, momentarily shushing the doubts. He could see a spectrum of emotions on the faces of those around him: joy, hope, acceptance, souls intertwining against the backdrop of art and community. But in a heartbeat, everything changed. The music shifted to a slower tune, and people began to pair off, leaning into one another, sharing whispers and soft smiles. Jack felt a sudden chill run down his spine. Was he ready for this intimacy? The idea of vulnerability made him shiver. Dance with me, Jack, Lily said sweetly, looking up at him with adoration. There was something magical about the softness in her eyes, a trust that felt so inviting. He hesitated, glancing back toward where Sasha stood. Her arms were still crossed, and her eyes pierced through him like a laser. I can't, Jack started, his voice barely a whisper above the music. Yes, you can, Lily encouraged, pulling him closer. Her arms wrapped around his waist, and the world melted away. Jack took a step forward, feeling the warmth of her body against his. He wrapped his own arms around her, pulling her in tightly, as if protecting her from the scrutiny of the world outside this moment. The music enveloped them, and he felt his heart speed as he swayed with her. Every turn, every step brought a new revelation. The pulling, the scolding from his past, faded into a distant hum. For those moments, it was as if all the fear evaporated, leaving only pure connection. But just as he began to let go completely, he heard Sasha's voice again, cutting through the bliss. "You really think you belong with her, Jack? This is just a phase." Those words crashed into him like icy water. What if she was right? "Jack, focus on me," Lily whispered, sensing his thoughts wandering. "This is our moment. We've got this." And he wanted to believe her. But as the melody picked up, a voice from his past filled his memory, echoing, "You're not enough." Am I really ready for this? He wondered, feeling his grip tighten around Lily. They were lost in their own world, and he didn't want to pull away, but doubt loomed large. How could he fight the belief he had carried for so long? Would he crumble under the fear, or could he finally embrace the leap of faith that would change everything? As the song drew to a close, Jack felt a decision hanging in the air, waiting for his next move. Would he take that plunge, or would he let the shadows win? The answer felt closer than ever, like the tip of his tongue ready to speak, but Jack hesitated, the weight of the moment suspending time. What awaited him next? Jack felt the tension drip from him, the weight of Sasha's voice still echoing in his ears. He wanted so desperately to drown it out, to push it deep down where it couldn't reach him anymore. Jack Lily's voice broke through his fog. She gently tugged on him, bringing him closer. "Just be here with me, okay?" He glanced into her eyes, those bright pools of trust and warmth. Despite the chaos inside him, he felt a murmur of hope spark. Maybe this time would be different. Maybe he could leave the doubts behind. "Okay," he breathed, squeezing her hand. The music resumed with its vibrant pulse, and he allowed his body to sway along with it. He focused on her smile, the way her hair glimmered under the lights, the way she laughed, so pure and real. And there it was again, his heart beating faster, filling him with an electric energy that made him believe he could stand against the storm of Sasha's words. But just then, the doors of the club swung open, and an icy draft swept through. A group of newcomers burst in, drawing Jack's attention. Among them stood a familiar face, Tyler, Sasha's brother. Jack's breath hitched, the shadows from his past creeping back into the room. "Look who it is," Tyler called out, his voice saturated with mockery. The crowd began to part, and for a moment, all eyes were on Jack. "Mr. Perfect, ready to dance with what? That girl? You think you belong here?" Jack felt the heat rise to his cheeks. He could hear the whispers behind him, those searching for his weaknesses, relishing the sight of him squirming. "What do you want, Tyler?" Jack's voice trembled, anger bubbling beneath the surface. "I just came to check in on my dear sister," Tyler said, a smirk rolling across his face. "But I see you're still stuck in your fairy tale. You really think you can escape your past?" Lily's hand slipped into his, grounding him amidst the taunts. "Ignore him, Jack," she whispered fiercely. "Stay with me." But the words hung in the air like a challenge. Could he really ignore the past that threatened to swallow him whole? Jack took a step forward, drawing in a deep breath. "This isn't about my past," he replied, his voice steadier now. "I'm not who I used to be." Sasha suddenly appeared at Tyler's side, her expression smug. "Oh please, Jack, we both know it's just about the money and the glam," she sneered. "You really think you can leave that behind? You're just a charity case with a pretty new friend." The sting of her words pierced him deeply. A million unsaid insecurities surged through him. But then he turned to Lily, whose steadfast resolve pulled him back from breaking apart. He could feel her warmth, her unwavering belief in him. "You're wrong," he said, louder this time. "I'm moving on. I'm not going back." Jack's heart thundered as the crowd watched, their reactions a mix of surprise and suspense. Something within him ignited. Was it courage? The realization that he had the strength to stand his ground. "Jack," Lily whispered, stealing his gaze. "Don't let them win." With that, Jack couldn't hold back any longer. He pulled Lily closer, the swirling music wrapping around them like a shield. Every beat pressed them together in a world where only they existed. And for the first time, he felt the fear and doubt fade away, replaced with something golden and bright. "I'm here," he whispered, burying all hesitation. "With you." But just as he embraced the moment, the next track began, the lyrics echoing with a haunting familiarity. His heart sank. Was he really ready to confront everything that had chased him? As they moved, the ground beneath him trembled. The challenge was not just from his past, but from a future that seemed uncertain. With one last look at Sasha and Tyler, the weight of their expectations pulled at him. Will I really be able to leave it all behind? He wondered, clenching his jaw. Would this love be enough to carry him past the shadows? Or would he always be haunted by the scars of the past? The dance floor felt alive, and Jack could feel the anticipation building. All eyes were on him. Would he fold under the pressure, or would he break free for good? As the chorus blared, he realigned his steps with Lily, staring deeply into her eyes, searching for the answer in the depths of their connection. But the question lingered, was he truly ready for this leap into the unknown, or would he let fear dictate his future? The answer awaited him, blanketing the dance floor like a breathless pause, suspended in time. What would he choose? Lily's eyes sparkled under the neon lights, but Jack's heart raced for a different reason. She was everything he had fought to keep close. Yet the storm brewing just outside their bubble challenged everything he had built with her. As the heavy beat of the music throbbed in the background, he could feel the weight of Tyler and Sasha's stares like daggers. Jack, Lily said softly, her voice cutting through the chaos. Focus on us. Just us. He took a deep breath, allowing her words to wash over him. It was true. Here, in this moment, everything else had to fade. Yet, the warmth that Lily radiated couldn't completely eclipse the chill that Tyler's presence had sent down his spine. Then he saw the flicker of concern in Lily's eyes. Swallowing down his worries, he wrapped her in an embrace, lifting her gently off the ground as they spun a few playful steps together. A few people cheered, caught up in their moment, and he felt a surge of confidence tighten his grip on her. This was his fight. For them. Want to step out? Lily suggested, her smile uncertain but hopeful. Not yet, he replied, his heart hammering not just from fear but from determination. I need to face this, all of it. Just then, Tyler moved through the crowd, pushing towards them, a smirk plastered on his face. The entire atmosphere shifted, thickening with tension. Jack could feel every eye fixate on him, a reminder of what he had escaped and the weakness they perceived. Really, Jack? Tyler laughed, the sound bitter. You can't truly think you're still in the running. This is just a phase, a game. You'll see. Stop it, Lily interjected, stepping between them like a fierce protector. You don't get to talk about him that way. A gasp rippled through the crowd. Jack felt the pride swell in his chest, a fierce light pushing back against the shadows of his past. After all the years of hurt and judgment, here was this girl standing at his side, unflinching. Lily, thank you, he said sincerely, meeting her gaze. Her belief shone like a beacon, fighting back the shadows lurking behind him. Who cares what he thinks? Lily added. You've come too far to listen to that noise. You are who you are now. The words settled over him, warming him from the inside out. Bravery surged through Jack like a lightning bolt, reconnecting him to his resolve. You're right, he declared, louder than he intended, but he didn't care. I'm not turning back. Jack opened his mouth to say more, to declare that his past didn't define him, that love could lift him higher than he ever imagined. But before he could utter another word, Sasha stepped forward with a well-practiced sneer. Oh, sweetie, you think declaring you're over it really works? She taunted. What happens when the money runs out? Money? It's not about the money, he shot back, the heat of the moment giving him strength. It's about connection. It's about love. The crowd stirred, murmurs echoing in surprise. Jack could feel the energy change, the tide of emotion shifting ever so slightly in his favor. It wasn't about proving his worth to anyone else, but about honoring the journey he'd taken to find this moment, this love. I would choose love over money any day, he said, his voice clear and unshakable. Because this, he gestured to Lily, who stood steadfast by his side. This is what matters. This is what I've been waiting for. Lily's eyes gleamed with approval, and he could see hope mirrored in her heart. Maybe they truly could move forward together. But then the lights flickered dramatically, shrouding the club in shadows. The music screeched to a halt, leaving an echoing silence. Jack felt the air grow thick with anticipation, a palpable energy building around them. This isn't over, Tyler called, his voice dripping with challenge. You'll see. The past doesn't just disappear. Jack clenched his fists, determination sparking in his chest. Would this confrontation mark a turning point or unleash a storm within? The tension crackled like electricity, and an unwelcome chill swept through him. What lay ahead? The fight against his past was about to evolve into something much more significant than he ever expected. As he turned to Lily, their eyes locked in a moment that sealed a vow. Together, they would face whatever storm awaited them. But would their love be enough to weather it? With the dance floor waiting for their next move, Jack felt the question linger: could love truly conquer all when shadows still loomed large? The tension in the club hummed like the buzzing of a tightrope stretched too thin. Jack felt the weight of the moment, the stakes being raised with every breath. It was palpable, the way the crowd leaned in, their excitement mixed with apprehension. He couldn't turn to Lily now. He needed to face Tyler head-on. Remember this moment, Jack, Tyler continued, his voice low and conspiratorial. Your little fairy tale will crash down. Life is not as generous as you think. Jack shook his head, determination surging through his veins. No, you're wrong, he responded, his words steady and firm. This isn't a fairy tale, it's my reality. And I'm standing my ground. Lily squeezed his hand tighter, grounding him. She had always been that steadiness in his life, a beacon guiding him through dark waters. He could feel a slight tremor in her touch, but it only fueled his resolve. You think we're all just going to watch you fall apart? Sasha sneered from the sidelines, a poisonous grin stretched across her face. Please, you're nothing without your money, without pretense. Jack felt the crowd breathe collectively, confusion spreading over their faces. He glanced around, no longer just seeing a sea of judgmental gazes, but instead people caught in the current of vulnerability. They didn't want to see him fail, not when they had witnessed his change, not when they had tasted the sweetness of hope. Listen, Jack called, his voice breaking through Sasha's derision. You don't understand anything about me. This journey isn't measured in cash or cars. It's about choosing to rise above the hurt and the past. A murmur rippled through the crowd. Some nodded, others leaned in closer, almost as if they were willing him to succeed. The real power is in love, he continued, looking directly into Lily's eyes, feeling that bond deepen. Love gives us strength. It breaks down every wall we've built around ourselves. That's where I'm truly rich. The crowd erupted into applause, a wave of support washing over Jack. He could hardly believe it. For once, people were willing to champion his growth instead of clinging to old narratives. Tyler's smirk faltered for a split second, anger creeping into his eyes. You really think that choosing love will save you? Tyler spat, his bravado crumbling. What about the consequences? What about the real world? It's about facing it all head-on. Jack shouted, his heart racing with raw emotion. I'm not afraid anymore. You can't threaten me with shadows I've already chased away. As the words flew from his mouth, he could feel something shift inside him. The past had shaped him, yes, but it no longer controlled him. Each heartbeat was a reminder of what he stood to gain, not to lose. And there was Lily, as fierce as ever, a spirited fire in her gaze. She was perfect, her unwavering belief cascading over him like warm sunlight breaking through storm clouds. He could almost hear the soft rhythm of his heart sinking with the growing swell of the crowd. Jack, I believe in you, she whispered, her voice almost drowning in the tumult. It trickled through the noise like a cool balm, fanning the flames of his courage. But even as the crowd momentarily rallied behind him, an uncomfortable feeling clawed at Jack's gut. This wasn't just about proving Tyler and Sasha wrong. It was about keeping Lily safe, too. Their future was now tied to a choice, a fragile thread that hung between their love and the looming threats of the past, which Tyler and Sasha fell into easily. What if this storm isn't just yours? Jack thought out loud. What if it's coming for the both of us? The echoed silence once again hovered above them. Jack wondered whether they truly had the strength to weather it together when old wounds from their pasts beckoned to haunt them both. Increasingly crucial and urgent, as Lily held his gaze, heart racing even faster than before. Jack couldn't escape the rising knot in his throat. He had fought hard to get here. Could he fight harder to protect what he loved? The night was far from over. Would their bond hold strong when the clouds began to gather? That question lingered like a palpable promise in the air, almost challenging both him and Lily to discover how far their love could stretch before it snapped under the weight of reality. The crowd's applause faded into a tense hush, each clap ringing like a heartbeat in the thick air. Jack's mind raced as he surveyed the faces watching him, some hopeful, some skeptical. He tightened his grip on Lily's hand, a lifeline he didn't dare let go of. "Tyler, you don't know anything about love," Jack yelled, his voice bold and unwavering. "You talk about consequences. What about the consequences of losing the people you care about? What happens when pride blinds you to what really matters?" Tyler's expression shifted, anger flickering into something more vulnerable, but he quickly masked it with a sneer. "You're just as weak as I thought. Love doesn't pay the bills, Jack. It doesn't fix broken dreams." That stung. Jack hesitated for a moment, turmoil bubbling just below the surface. Could he defend what he believed in without sinking into the anger Tyler provoked? He took a breath, remembering Lily's unwavering gaze rooting him in purpose. "I might not have much money left," Jack began, surprising himself even as the words slipped out. "But I have more courage now than ever. And that's something you'll never have, because you choose to live in fear." The crowd's energy shifted again. People exchanged glances. The doubt was fading, slowly replaced by a burgeoning respect. Jack felt it, too, a growing feeling of strength and resolve that propelled him forward. "What do you think you're going to do? Save the world with your fairy tale hopes?" Sasha piped in. Her laughter was bitter, but he could feel the crowd's edges starting to dull against her cynical remarks. "No, I'm not here to save the world." Jack's voice raised an octave, the passion spilling out. "I'm here to save myself, us. We deserve more than just a life built on standards set by people like you. We deserve a life filled with love, with authenticity." He turned, searching for that familiar spark in Lily's eyes. Her chin tilted upward, a quiet confidence radiating from her. That warmth ignited a deeper fire within him. In this chaotic storm of bitterness and uncertainty, their love was the anchor keeping him grounded, allowing him to stand firm against the turbulent tides. But as Jack continued addressing the rows of people before him, another instinct gnawed at his insides. What if Tyler had a point? The consequences of their choice might spiral beyond the confines of his control. Lily's voice broke through his thoughts, soft yet urgent. What if we prepare for a fight? Together?" Her eyes glimmered with determination, and a concept crystallized in Jack's mind. A fight wasn't just against Tyler and Sasha. It was against everything that sought to undermine who he had become. "Yes," he shouted, the overwhelming feeling of unity surging through him. "Let us stand together. If they want a battle, let them bring it on. We can't let fear drive our lives anymore." The crowd echoed his rally cry, a growing chorus of supporters. Every flicker of doubt was drowned out by solidarity, the need for love overpowering the need for greatness. For the first time, it didn't feel like a solitary fight. Emboldened by the crowd, Jack took a step back, absorbing the energy that surrounded him. But just as hope surged, uncertainty crept in. Could their love withstand the trials ahead? The weight of the moment loomed larger. Jack turned back to Tyler, his gaze locked in defiance. There was still a long battle ahead, and the stakes were rising higher than the cheers around him. Could they weather the storm brewing between them? The question lingered with a heavy silence, leaving him to wonder just how far they would have to go, and if their love could hold strong through the coming upheaval. Jack stood at the crossroads of his past and present, the shifting tides of fate swirling around him. The vibrant energy of the crowd pulsated, each heartbeat echoing his inner conflict. But with every ounce of uncertainty that gripped him, there was an unmistakable spark of defiance igniting his spirit. He looked into Lily's eyes, and what he saw was clarity and unwavering belief in the power of love. "I won't let you down," he whispered to her, a promise forged in the heat of the moment. Her smile transformed him, filling him with a sense of purpose that propelled him forward. "You are more than enough," Lily declared, her voice weaving through the tense atmosphere, a mantra of hope. Jack's heart raced as he faced Tyler and Sasha, their smug expressions a stark reminder of the shadows he had vowed to leave behind. "You can throw doubt at us all you want," he shouted, "but you'll never understand what we share." This, he gestured between himself and Lily, is genuine. It's real. Suddenly, the crowd erupted into cheers, the sound a waterfall of support drenching him in warmth. Jack felt courage swell within him, a tide rising against the fierce opposition. He could see the skepticism in Tyler's eyes wavering, a flicker of uncertainty creeping in. "I choose love over fear," Jack proclaimed, surrendering to the growing energy around him. "And I'm ready to fight for it." Lily squeezed his hand tighter, and in that brief moment, he realized he was not alone in this battle. Together, they had created a bright tapestry woven from hope, courage, and unwavering belief. Jack's fight was not just against Tyler and Sasha. It was against every whisper of inadequacy that had haunted him, every fear that had threatened to shatter his newfound happiness. At that moment, the lights of the club flickered like a signal igniting the crowd. Their voices rose in a triumphant chorus, a wave of support surging through Jack's veins. The lingering shadows of his past fled, replaced by the vibrant colors of a future he was ready to embrace. "Tyler, Sasha, go ahead and mock us," he said, voice steady and clear. "But we're fighting for something bigger than you can understand. Our dreams, our journey, and the love that connects us, none of that can be diminished by your contempt." As Jack faced his past, he felt resentment ebb away, replaced instead by a powerful resolve to stand firm alongside Lily. Her presence transformed every scornful glance from the duo into courage. "We are not defined by your perceptions. We are building something beautiful." The crowd's applause swelled, a supportive wave crashing against sharp edges of skepticism. The air hummed with optimism, lifting Jack higher. "Let us embrace authenticity." Jack rallied, his voice climbing. "Let us celebrate the beauty found in each brushstroke of life." With a commanding presence, he turned back to Lily, their eyes meeting in a blend of understanding and strength. "We can face what comes together. It's always been about us." She beamed, nodding firmly. Together. The energy shifted, and something profound blossomed within the crowd. They were witnesses to this beautiful resurgence of connection, embracing it, understanding the essence of love and hope Jack and Lily represented. "Come to us," Jack shouted to the bystanders, inviting them to engage in the magic, the chaos that unfurled around them. "This is a space for those choosing love, a space where authenticity reigns." With roaring applause, the audience clapped and cheered, their cheers igniting a fire that pushed against Tyler's cynical facade. He faltered, pulled back by his siblings, and the clues of gratitude seeping into the edges of their ego. Jack felt the ticking clock shift within as he embraced this newfound voice. He was no longer haunted by past failures or uncertainties. This was a celebration of love, of transformation, and a commitment to rise above what once held him captive. "I am no longer a prisoner of your expectations," Jack declared, his heart pounding with newly kindled fervor. "We are who we choose to be, not defined by what you think we should be." Just then, Tyler stepped back into the winding conversation, a mix of anger and disbelief warring on his features. "You think being this authentic will change the world?" A ripple of laughter flowed through those gathered, fueled by Jack's infectious energy. "It begins here, tonight. It starts with belief," he exclaimed, before feeling the electrifying pull of Lily beside him. "Believe with us," she cried out, her gaze piercing through the chaos. "Let us take this leap together." The crowd rallied, the anger dissipating into sheer excitement at the prospect of a new beginning, a community standing strong behind love and authenticity. As the lingering tension faded and the rhythmic thump of the music took over, Jack surrendered completely to the moment. He twirled Lily around him, laughter bubbling to the surface as they danced, pulling others into the warmth of their joy. Tyler and Sasha faded into the background, two shadows retreating against the radiant light of love blazing before them. Decisions no longer tied him down. Jack felt a freedom so profound he could hardly contain it. He had embraced the leap, allowing love to guide him forward as the crowd swayed, a sea of vibrant colors illuminating every corner of the space. Time stretched. He was bigger than the world he once thought confined him. With arms around Lily, they twirled, weaving dreams far beyond the chains of doubt. Jack's heart soared. He chose love over everything else. And in that choice, he found strength, resilience, and a community unified not just by expectations, but by the promise of connection and hope. As the music crescendoed, echoing the irreversible beauty of their moment. Jack and Lily danced bound together, stepping into a brighter tomorrow, ready for whatever came next. And with that, they became the living proof that love indeed conquers. All subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm. Comment your reactions and feelings about the ending. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. You need to subscribe now. This is the moment to show your support. Don't wait, not even one more second to share.